Alright guys, welcome back to another reaction video. My name is James.
Ninetailedbrush.
And today we're going to be fulfilling a reaction request for the month. The movie is Arrival. You don't know anything about this movie, I'm assuming, right?
No.
I didn't know anything about this movie when I watched it. It's been a minute since I have. I was like sick one time. I was like on Amazon and I just pulled up something random. Total surprise. I'm a really big fan of this movie. You'll probably recognize a few faces. Hawkeye is in it.
Okay.
The girl who plays Lois Lane in the Snyder Cut is in it. They're all kind of really good actors in their own right. So, anyway, the less you know about this movie, the better. Obviously, it's a reaction request, so thank you for making that request. And as always, if you guys are interested in making your own requests, you can go ahead and check out our Patreon. We're pretty much willing to watch any sort of movie that you want, as long as it's not too crazy explicit or anti-family friendly or anything like that. But usually everything else we're pretty open to watch. And yeah, the full-length reaction is going to be up on Patreon if you guys want to go check that out and support us a little bit. And like I said, I'm excited to watch this movie. Let's just get into it.
So is this more like a niche sort of movie, or was it pretty famous? How is
in between, because it has a decent budget. It's not like a little art house film or anything, but it's not like mainstream necessarily either. It was based off a book, which always ends up for an interesting movie, I feel like.
Memory is a strange thing. It doesn't work like I thought it did. We are so bound by time, by its order.
It's definitely a different kind of movie, as I'm sure you can already tell.
Yeah, it feels very...
Stick 'em up!
Are you the sheriff in this here town? Run!
I mean, this seems like you're,
It's very ominous almost, though, right?
Yeah, but it feels like your typical nice, family setting.
Yeah.
And, just playing with the kid and all that. But a little bit eerie or something. I'm not sure.
I love you. I hate you!
And this was the end.
She was diagnosed with
Cancer, yeah.
But now I'm not so sure I believe in beginnings and endings. There are days that define your story beyond your life, like the day they arrived.
Now, usually when you say a phrase like that, it entails, alien
Good morning.
life forms, possibly?
Yeah.
The story of Portuguese begins in the Kingdom of Galicia
Why is it...
in the Middle Ages. Any news you want to share?
Dr. Banks, can you turn the TV to a news channel?
Waiting to hear if this is perhaps an experimental vessel or... hold on. I'm learning that more objects like this have landed in as many as 8 other locations around...
Well, that's not terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, it is called Arrival, right?
Yeah, honestly, that's what I was expecting. It was Arrival. Sounds like some sort of alien,
Yeah.
life or something. I mean, at this point, I wouldn't really be worrying about a little dent in my car.
Ooh.
Yeah, because this is serious.
Only wants to have one of these in our backyard. If this is some sort of peaceful first contact, why send 12?
That's true, but it's also not 100, right?
Yeah,
12 isn't a crazy amount.
You can
Especially
still think that, it might be
because the world's
peaceful.
big, right? It's all over the world, right?
Mom, I'm fine. Okay, I'll call you later. Bye.
It's interesting, too. We haven't yet seen anything.
Yeah, they haven't showed us what these things look like.
Yeah.
Where is it, though?
Not sure. It's hard to tell. Also, amateur video footage.
Further developments from the site of the 12 UFO.
And already the public expects us to know the answers. I'm Colonel G.T. Weber. I never found my map, but 2 years ago you did some Farsi translations for Army intelligence. And you have another 2 years in the SSBI. So you still have top secret clearance. That's why I'm in your office, not at Berkeley. I have something I need you to translate for me.
is trying to talk.
It's so tough though.
Yeah.
Because you don't have like more context, you know?
Of course.
How many speaking?
Two.
Are you sure? Do they have mouths?
How would you approach translating this?
How
The
could
problem
you
is they're
do
doing
that?
the thing of like not giving her all the information
Yeah.
because they don't trust her. But it's like, dude, if you need somebody to do this, you got to give them everything to work with here.
You didn't need that Foster translation.
I didn't need it because I already knew the language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're trying to learn a new language.
And from a few sounds, like that, they could be anything.
I'm
Like,
taking you to Montana. It's not a negotiation. If I leave here, your chance to go.
She's not trying to negotiate,
Yeah.
bro.
it's not negotiations. Okay, well that sounded very human.
At the beginning, it did.
Yeah,
They're
I
like
thought I was
psyching
like,
you out to be
what?
like aliens.
They're coming for her. They know she translates.
Little no nonsense.
Yeah, you kind of have.
I mean,
to
that's how
be.
you could tell they're dealing with some serious stuff here.
Yeah, I mean it is serious. Like, come on.
It's the kind of thing you write as a preface. Dazzle them with the basics.
Well, the cornerstone of civilization isn't language and science. Ian is a theoretical physicist from Los Alamos.
Just talk
Yeah.
to them before we start throwing math problems.
Yeah.
Like realistically speaking,
That's why you're both here.
okay, so this is our first like real
Teasing us with the look of the... Yeah.
Yeah, look.
That's a beautiful shot, dude. I always like movies that make the spaceships look totally weird. Because, like, as much as you want it to look, like, fairly humanoid, I feel like if that actually happened, it would be so, like, a blob. Like, that... It's probably what it would be.
I mean, it's possible, yeah. But I mean, if it does travel like super like fast, or something,
Yeah.
it's got to be something really off.
Who's being carted off in the medevac?
Not everyone is able to process experiences like this. Can we get some blood from you?
Yeah, but why were they in, like, a
An immunization dose that covers a
You know,
Yeah, like some sort of like bag.
containment bag thing?
The air seem to circulate inside the chambers after about 2 hours and run out of oxygen.
Doesn't take 18 hours to pump fresh air into a room.
Atmosphere. If their atmosphere is different from Earth, it would certainly take hours to be balanced out your contact and pressure for us every time they open their door. We can't tell what they're saying when they respond to hello, so don't get ahead of yourself.
Yeah, we're kind of clueless on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So let's.
It's a pleasure. Dr. Banks is taking over the mission from Dr. Walker.
That's probably who was in the medevac.
There's a wall, like a glass wall. You can't get there. So where do you live? You'll see soon enough.
Yeah, aren't we? We're going in. Like, don't worry about all that.
I'd be a little nervous.
To like hop on in there.
Well, that's why I think it's interesting, because she's a linguist, right? So I feel like she actually isn't, whereas the physicist is like, dude, this is the coolest thing that's ever happened. Like, this is such a
Yeah.
breakthrough.
Every 18 hours, the door opens up in the closet. That's where we go in.
Door opens up at the bottom. It's like levitating.
18 hours, though? Is that any significance? That's such a cool shot. Huh. Isn't that so weird? I think that's so cool.
Is there a like, is that top space? Is that not just the sky? It's something else?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, like, if you're a normal person, like,
Yeah, this
this
is
is gonna
really
be
weird.
way intense. Like, dude.
That would be so freaky.
Is that a canary for
Oxygen? Yeah, I think so. Sounded like Godzilla to me, not gonna lie.
yeah?
The sound design is so good.
Tired?
You better than the last guy.
It doesn't make me feel any better.
Interesting, because I mean, like, the fact that they're even doing this, and
Yeah, it seems not aggressive.
I mean, but it still could be, like, right?
It
They
totally
could
be. But on its face, it doesn't seem.
Pentecostal cult are feared dead after they set their compound ablaze. Their website claims the arrival of the aliens set in motion a prophecy that 12 sets of...
Great. That would happen, but great.
We're up in 15.
Yeah.
Any new intel?
Yeah, we've been playing back some of their sounds.
Where does that get you?
When they play audio back at us from an unseen source,
What do you have with?
we have nothing.
No, that's something, dude.
Yeah, because maybe they're recording stuff too and trying to figure out something.
Yeah, I
right?
think they might be.
going on out there.
They can speak their words if they are talking, but they might have some sort of written language or basis for visual communication.
Okay. Let's just start.
Honestly, they have a higher chance of figuring out our language than we do of them
Because they're clearly more advanced than us.
and they have more context, right?
Yeah.
They can observe us more. Yeah, like make gestures of like very general.
That's huge.
Well, it did its own sort of like
Writing.
writing.
Oh, guys, just film.
Yeah, you guys better be catching this. Like, this is going fast.
Trying to teach them how to speak and read?
Well,
That's gotta take longer.
You're wrong. It's faster.
yeah, but yeah, what else can we do? Like,
When you actually don't know the language, then
Yeah.
yes, it's completely faster.
What is that?
In 1770, Captain James Cook's ship ran aground off the coast of Australia and he led a party into the country and they met the Aboriginal people. One of the sailors pointed at the animals that hop around and put their babies in their pouch, and he asked what they were, and the Aborigine said, kangaroo. It wasn't until later that they learned that kangaroo means I don't understand. So, I need this so that we don't misinterpret things in there, otherwise this is going to take 10 times as long.
It's a good story.
Thanks. It's not true. But it proves my
Okay.
point.
I don't know.
Remember, they put some of them together too, guys. Like, be aware of that.
Yeah.
Problem is, not everyone shares our policy of being open with the humans. Have you met General Shang?
Oh no. Yeah,
Paul
that's.
Sniper and his big domino. Whatever Shang does, at least 4 other nations will follow. These are all great school words. Eat, walk.
Yeah, but what?
Dude, come on,
Yeah,
man.
like, what are
Be
we
a little
supposed to-
understanding.
You can't all of a sudden be like, you
What do you
know.
mean help you understand? I get it. It makes sense to me.
And this is where you want to get to, right?
Here's the question.
Okay. So, first, we need to make sure that they understand what a question is.
Yeah.
The nature of a. We need to clarify the difference between a specific you and a collective you. Because we don't.
I like how they get
we
into
know
the
what
technical.
really-
Yeah.
We need to find out, do they make conscious choices
Yeah.
or is their motivation so instinctive that they don't understand a why question at all?
Yeah. Get to your list.
Yeah, it's just like,
Just
I mean, they could be going off of instinct. Who knows?
The same thing?
It
Looks like
looks
it,
a
right?
little simpler though, right, or something.
They're simple, I can't tell. I don't know. I think they're confused. Dr. Banks, that's what we're on to the next road.
Wait.
Dr. Banks?
Whoa.
Come to see me.
Let her do what she's gonna do, though, man. If she needs to be able to work.
Yeah, but even if it's not from them, just
They're
like how
carrying a disease or something.
yeah, that's not effective to them, but that might
Yeah.
harm us. Kind of like when you're going to when the people came to America, they all got sick of. Yeah, well, careful.
Oh.
It's kind of doing what you're doing, right?
Now that's a proper introduction. I am Louise. You want to introduce yourself?
That's different. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well, right?
I mean, look, as long as they make sure they don't get in contact with other people, they might be fine.
Yeah, you just gotta be careful, like, you're not,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it means? It's the same symbols as before.
Oh, is it?
I think so. That's what they did before the second time, so maybe that's both their separate names?
They have names, yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's huge.
Yeah. The
They've only been doing this for 2 days, dude. That's such huge progress.
Just having memories of trying to communicate with of teaching to communicate with the horse. A little bit.
How do you feel?
Overworked.
Well, I guess I don't need to tell you you're putting yourself at risk. Well, there's no signs of radiation poisoning yet. No radiation. Nothing else we can detect either, but I'd give him a strong cocktail regardless. It's the first time we've made significant progress.
Honey, it's not gonna happen. You don't need to worry.
I feel like to get on board for like on friendly terms with them, you gotta kind of like draw their symbols or something. Kind of like
Something, yeah.
Gotta kind of like grow that connection.
But the way they write their stuff too, it's so like, well, what if there's a little lump here?
Yeah, because like anything could mean anything. I mean, heck, like, look
Yes.
at our languages. Like one little thing changes the
Yes.
meaning entirely. These kind of like flashes of memories or something are kind of interesting.
Here are some of the many things we don't know about heptapods. Greek. Who are they?
They kind of look like
Trying
giant
to answer
hands.
this in any meaningful way, the shell emits no waste, no gas, no radiation. Assuming that the shells communicate with each other, they do so without detection. Are they scientists or tourists? If they're scientists, they don't seem to ask a lot of questions.
I mean, I don't think they're
Why did they
tourists.
prove what they did?
Yeah.
They've got to be. They have to have some sort of
Most experts
purpose.
counteract that one. The next most plausible theory is that Sheena Easton had a hit song at each of these sites in 1980, so we just don't know.
Hey, it might be possible. They might have heard something and been like, "Hey," they might have taken it the wrong way.
Their writing is semisigraphic. It conveys meaning. It doesn't represent sound.
Yeah.
Passing up his second communications channel. We have our friends in Pakistan to thank for their study of how heptapods write. Linguists call this nonlinear orthography, which raises the question, is this how they think?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's true.
You would have to know each word you wanted to use, as well as how much space they would occupy. Louise thinks it could easily take another month to be ready for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a completely
Yes.
different thought process
This is
as far as
huge.
languages go.
And it's been a month and they haven't attacked anybody or done anything
Yeah.
crazy, so.
So just keep doing it. I mean, you got
Hey,
Roger's looking for you.
why do you think I'm hiding out here? Nice out here, huh? You approach language like a mathematician. You know that, right?
I will take that as a compliment.
Yeah, well, it is. I watch you steer us around these communication traps that I didn't even know existed. So, what? I guess that's why I'm single.
Trust me, you can. I feel like everything that happens in there comes down to the two of us.
Yeah, it's a good thing, though, right? You and I?
Meanwhile, the world.
Yeah, like, okay.
800,000 march on Washington to protest the government's handling of the
Jeez.
crisis. All this and more special coverage.
Willing to sit back and let them waltz in and take our country.
No,
That's-
it's not that simple, you
Yeah,
idiot.
that's not how it works,
One
though.
of the smartest thing we could
Dude, they could fly and do space travel, you
Yeah.
moron. They could destroy your planet in 2 seconds.
Yes, like any
Who
sort
are
of
we
alien
kidding?
that makes it there will just annihilate.
What's this word?
That's trippy.
That's like, the Earth is a planet.
Want to see my project from Miss Garrett's class?
Yeah, little Luz. And who are those two people?
It's you and Dad. The show is called Mommy and Daddy Talk to Animals.
You know it's okay to be sad that your dad
I know. I'm not.
All right.
Yeah, I'm fine.
How you feeling? I was doing some reading about this idea that if you immerse yourself into a foreign language, that you can actually rewire your brain.
It is that werewolf hypothesis. The language you speak determines how you think.
Yeah, it affects how you see everything. It was
Yeah, that is
That's kind of
interesting.
cool.
Because like if you
in their language.
I mean, I've had a few dreams, but I don't think that makes
it's not that
me
she's
want to
dreaming,
do
it's like she has these
It's like, oh my gosh.
or is she being able to think at like how they sort of communicate maybe?
Did you sleep?
He's saying that each of the 12 is offering advanced technology.
What?
Back again. Play. Arslan's team is attempting to decode the.
Wait, how is she figuring this out?
Because she can understand Mandarin?
That means
Oh, is she
They have a
listening to Oh, okay,
recording.
okay.
An hour ago, China mobilized forces, and now Russia's following suit. Shag's about to start something.
Are they using a game to converse with their heptapods?
Maybe. Why?
Well, let's say that I taught them chess instead of English, expressed through opposition, victory, defeat. You see the problem? If all I ever gave you was a hammer,
Everything's a nail.
This is always a problem like with conflicting, you know,
Countries.
yeah, and
Because
priorities.
it's there's no promise that we're all going to be, you know, hippie, love everybody thing. There's no promise of that. She's got like a headset on. Let's go.
Why was he late to the party?
I don't know.
Also, they seem different.
What does it say?
offer weapon. We don't know if they understand the difference between a weapon and a tool. Our
Oh.
language, like our culture,
Asking us to offer them something, but the other way
Or
around.
they're offering us something.
The first part of the trade.
So how do we clarify their intentions?
Oh,
Colonel,
shoot.
the Secretary of Defense is on the line.
Oh my gosh. That's how it's more complicated, right there.
Because people need answers and they want to push things. I think it's possible that the pods are communicating. It seems like a very plausible conclusion that they might be offering humans' weapons?
Or tools.
Possibly, but
They learned in their last session has them spooked. Yes, sir. We have orders to do the same.
We received a message from the head.
Are you kidding me?
Damn it! We need to be talking to each other.
You want to talk to them? Find out what this means.
Guys,
This
this is
this
the
causes-
stupidest thing we could do.
it's literally dividing.
And if they're trying to really fight us, then this is exactly what they want us to do.
Yes, oh my gosh, this isn't good.
Want to divide us. Humanity must be protected.
Yeah, but
China has asked for immediate talks at the UN.
Captain Mark, Condor, not receiving transmission. Launch flight to
the problem is like,
Wait, are they with them? So they're just going in.
I honestly at this point would do the same.
No.
Oh no, that's not them.
This is just the soldiers.
Shoot. Wait, why? Oh my gosh, dude, what are you thinking? It's
Dr. Banks, you can't go in
Just
there.
need to ask one question.
no, dude.
The session is finished. You can't go back in. It's dangerous.
You're gonna let him die? Oh, dude, hurry.
Figure it out, dude. Oh, they don't see it.
Guys, there's a bomb.
They don't see it. It's not good.
Technology, apparatus, method.
Yeah, see, this is a different word.
Technology. No.
What's he doing?
Well, it can't get through the glass if you want it to give technology. Are you serious?
Dude. Oh,
Okay, can they talk to them? Tell them that there's something in there.
yeah. Maybe that's what they're trying to say.
Whoa.
She communicates
That's so
through like
cool.
thought. Gosh, but this is all cool and all, but there's a freaking bomb. So now everything is gonna like. Are they trying to tell him something? Guys. Oh. Oh my gosh. We were actually getting some good connection. Like, what are we doing?
Take it easy, take it easy. Site's no longer secure. We're standing by to evacuate.
Where's the end?
We were looking, got him maybe 10 minutes ago.
What happened in there was an attack. We can hope for the best, but I have orders to prepare for retaliation. We may have to evacuate.
No, that's the wrong move. As long as they stay, we have to stay.
I mean, I might want to leave too. Like,
How does this feel, Morse?
Yeah. I agree.
great.
The Air Force and infantry are standing by. Yes, sir.
Tonight,
Oh
China
my
becomes
gosh,
the first
why?
world power to declare
I
war
know.
against the aliens.
Dude. But
Following the failed 4 hours to leave Chinese territory or face destruction.
Are you serious?
All other world leaders to unite.
What if it was like a last ditch effort?
yeah, to like say something.
Yeah, or like an alphabet or something.
Because I mean, heck, like if you think of it, if you want them to think of it from your perspective, like what about their perspective?
Yeah,
you
they're
know?
about to die and they're like, hey.
No, like it's a competition, but both sides end up happy.
Competition.
I don't know.
Like a win-win.
More sciencey than that.
If you want science, call your father.
competition where you both win? Like,
I don't know.
You cracked something, didn't you?
Okay, hurry up.
Let's go.
Seems to be talking about time. There's some
Okay.
It's everywhere. So what is this? Stop focusing on the ones. Look at the zeros. How much of this is data? How much of it is negative space? So I measured it. 0.0833 recurring. One of 12.
We are part of a larger whole.
Or we're one of 12 contestants for the prize.
Why do I have to talk to him?
We're all working together here.
We need to talk to the other side's pods.
In case you don't remember, we're blacked out.
Yeah, that's
China
our
just threatened
choice.
to destroy their shell. We're on our own.
But this says that all of the pieces fit
And
together.
I'm telling you that no one else cares.
Our final session, the aliens said, there is no time. Many become one. I feel we have all been given weapons.
Why? Hand it out to us in pieces. Why not just give it all over?
What better way to force us to work together for once?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a non-zero sum game.
Non-zero sum game. That's it.
9 of the landing sites have gone total comms blackout. Only way to reach them is to physically drive there and yell at the border guards, which we're doing, but it won't be fast. What is she doing?
They're sending out a ship for her.
Yeah. Go. Just go toward it.
Yes.
Because, like, they're going to start, like, trying to stop her, maybe. Honestly, the aliens are feeling a lot less threatening right now than some of
They're
the
better than the humans.
some of the people, right? It's
Just be careful though, like they might accidentally kill you.
yeah, that's the one thing. That's what I was wondering. Like, what were they in? Like, why did they have that glass, right? Because it was like they were swimming around, kind of.
That's so cool. She's on the other
Yeah,
side.
it's like a weird, like, it's not like water, but it's
No.
like air water or something.
Reminds me of like a dry ice. Oh.
Can you remember like this? Like, why? Why though?
Maybe the explosion?
That's what I was thinking.
I need you to send a message to the other sides. I don't understand. What is your purpose here?
Oh. I honestly don't fully remember
How
all
can
this.
you know the future?
The show was called
Oh.
Daddy Talked to Animals.
Wait, so has she always had this? Or was she given
She
it?
might have been given it. Because the opening showed us seeing it, it didn't show her seeing it.
Okay, so it wasn't like she was seeing
No.
it. Okay.
I don't think so. Now what's happening?
Yeah, it's like,
Try to figure it out. This is too bad.
Doesn't matter now. We have orders to evacuate. Russia and Sudan are following China.
What day is it? Do you know, baby?
Sunday. Are you gonna leave me like Daddy did?
Oh, Hannah, honey, your daddy didn't leave you. You're gonna see him. this weekend.
He doesn't look at me the same way anymore.
It's my fault. I told him something that he wasn't ready to hear. Believe it or not, I know something that's going to happen. I can't explain how I know it, just do.
What? What's going to happen?
It has to do with a really low and your poetry and all the other amazing things that you share with the world.
I am unstoppable.
Well, is it like he's mad that she chose to have a kid if she knew that she was going to die?
That's what I was thinking. And, like, I don't understand, like...
I just realized when my husband left me. My husband left me.
I just think it's so dumb. Like, why do you think your weapons are going to work against this thing?
Yeah, it's like...
It's so stupid.
And you have no idea what they can do.
Yeah.
So you have no way to defend yourself, like...
Well, palindrome. It reads the same forward and backward.
No, she's going to break it through, dude. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, it's because it's the theory that he said, right? She's thinking in the language.
Well, she's using her weapon that she has, right?
It's not a weapon. It's a gift. The weapon, if you learn it, when you really learn it, you begin to perceive time the way that they do. So you can see what's to come. Time, it isn't the same for them.
It's not linear or something? Yeah.
Well, if their language isn't linear.
Get our best. Dr. Banks. Pleasure.
General Shine, pleasure is mine, really.
The only reason why I'm here is to meet you in person. 18 months ago, you did something remarkable.
So do it, dude.
Superior, Esther. You're the reason for this unification. Only because you reached out to me on my private number. I do not claim to know how your mind works, but I believe it was important for you to see it.
Yeah.
I called you, didn't I?
Isn't this so cool? Go, dude, call him.
Hurry.
Somebody give this lady a phone. Use the super cell phone. Go.
Search base camp now. Find out who's using that phone. Hold on to those coordinates. Yes, sir.
Answer your freaking phone.
What you said. You told me my wife's lame words.
Judging.
What are they?
Found the source of the phone call. It's in the clean room. I'm waiting for instructions. Drop it! Yeah. I'm sorry.
You're fighting shot.
You are committing an act of treason. Communications blackout from all 12 landing sites continues this evening.
In the UK, news, the Russian armed forces are now revealing the information they've acquired from both of their landing sites.
This is a hardcore way to space travel.
H-A-N-N-A-H.
Oh, guess what? It's their stuff.
If you could see your whole life from start to finish, would you change things?
Maybe I could say what I feel more often. I've had my head tilted up to the stars for as long as I can remember. You know what surprised me the most? It wasn't meeting them. It was meeting you.
Very different, right?
It was.
It's trippy, dude.
I like that.
It's really trippy.
It was a different take on a sort of.
I mean, barely was even about the aliens.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of was. It was kind of like, on following like how different people will take, the arrival of something different than our own species, right?
Yeah. I think the interesting thing is that it's like what I feel like there's a deeper philosophical message.
Well, yeah, I'm sure with like.
But I'm curious what it really is. Because there's some very interesting themes about like the idea of living your life the same way you would live it even if you knew how it ended. And I think that's very fascinating. Because it's almost like she knows that and she sees the moments for what they are and she appreciates them instead of being afraid of the result, kind of.
Yeah. I think there could be something to say about that, yeah.
And I do think that Ian looks at it differently because he's a scientist. Like, in the same way that when he walked in, he was like, all right, let's teach them math. Like, it's hard for him to think non-linearly about anything. And so the idea that, like, she knew the kid was going to have cancer or different things like that, like, he's just thinking of it as past, present, and future. And he's like, well, you knew the future, and you didn't change the present. But it's not that simple. It's I don't know, it's something different.
Yeah, I mean, just as, Ian doesn't have a sense of time like she does, we also don't have that sort of sense of time as everything kind of, intermingling with each other. It's hard to kind of relate, right?
Yeah.
So you can't really, you can get a separate message out of it and kind of relate it to our own value or sense of time.
I think there's something there, though, because I think that there is this fascinating human phenomena that humans don't live in the present. I know it's something people always say, like, be present, but to take it further, like, the idea that, like, you're always thinking about, like, what I'm going to do when this movie is over, how many subs we're going to get or whatever, or you're thinking, like, I did this thing that I really enjoyed back then, and I want to get to that again in the future. Right? Like people refer to when you're working, like you work weekend to weekend, right? You're like, oh, okay, Saturday was great. Now it's Monday. Instead of being like Monday, you're like, can't wait till next Saturday. And I think that's kind of, I think there's something interesting to the idea of like attempting to live in the present. And that doesn't mean to say to ignore the future, right? But like if you think about it, we actually live in the past and the future. We don't, and I'm not saying don't look at the future or the past. There's a difference. You get what I'm saying? Like there's this weird philosophical difference that we live in the future and the past. We don't live in the present. And that doesn't mean you don't know about them, but there's something to be said about like the idea of attempting to live in the present that I think is kind of fascinating, and that it's like this really fascinating idea that this movie makes you think.
Yeah, I just think that it is interesting. I think you can relate it to your own, our own values, our own sense of time. Yeah. But the way that she says it and that way that she probably experiences it, I feel like is so different compared to, anything that I think it's almost like you have to experience it from her point of view in order to really like, I don't know, come to terms with her values or how she looks at things. Because it's not the same as knowing what happens in the future, I feel like. I feel like you can't look at it as that. Because knowing what happens in the future and not taking actions to prevent that can also be looked at as something like...
Well, it's not knowing, it's living. It's like she's outside of time.
That's what I mean. And then, so
like she truly is experiencing all these things at the same time.
Yeah. which is why it's hard for me to kind of get that sense of like relativity. Like I'm not living in the future and the present and the past all at the same time, or the present and the future. So it's hard to because for me it's like if I know something in the future and I'm living in the present, I am for sure gonna take actions to change the future in order to make it how I want it. I feel like that's kind of how everyone lives.
That's true. Maybe maybe I'm wrong, because actually, if you think about it, nobody lives in the present because because time is always moving, right? So if you're moving through time, then there is no present, because when I just said time was the present, that's the past now.
Yeah.
And I can think about what I'm going to say in the future, but as it's happening, it immediately there is no present. Whereas she is in this weird thing where she's living in the past and the future and the present all at the same. Or I guess outside of it. You can phrase it either way. I think it essentially is the same result, is that she's living all three of those at the same time. But being able to live your present is almost something that's foreign to us as human beings.
Yeah. And it's cool, you can definitely say, there's that sort of message of, living in the present, sort of, instead of, always fearing the bad outcomes or something like that, right?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I like movies that make you think. That's kind of a thing for me. Obviously there's your fun popcorn movies. This is a movie that I think makes you think.
Yeah, it's cool. It has a cool
You can tell it was based off a book. When you watch it, you're like, this feels like a book.
I just really like the sort of realistic complexity of the aliens, and
the way
how
it's done, and the visuals and everything. I think are so well done.
I just feel like, when you want to make something very foreign to you, the way that they did it here was so perfect. It was it's not going to be a couple of different letters. It's no, their whole thought process is different. Everything about them, because they don't have anything to grab context from, any other humans or anything to relate to. So it's they would have something completely different.
But I liked how they made you feel lost, where it's not, you watch Lord of the Rings and you're like, oh, they're speaking Elven. It's okay, they're different letters in different shapes and different ways. This is just what is the circle?
Yeah, what are you thinking? Wait.
And it's so fascinating because you don't think about that in the modern era. But that is something that people dealt with. As early as, freaking 1492, not super far back. You think about people coming to the New World, or even talking to the Native Americans, or that is a thing. It's fascinating.
Yeah, and I like how the aliens, turned out to be fairly how should I say, how other organisms would be, kind of. Yeah. It's not they're these completely hostile things or whatever. It's well,
I also think they were less hostile because they knew the future. Yeah. But because they were non-linear, they had an understanding of how humans act and how they're going to act, and they were okay with that. I think that kind of plays into... So instead of it being that very human, oh my gosh, you just did this thing, I'm going to fight you back, they were we see the big picture, we understand.
Yeah, I just like that sort of, because a lot of times when... we have some sort of extraterrestrial life form.
It's a freaking fight.
I was oh crap!
Of course,
scary.
Of course. But, which is why I think it's a really cool, and just the way it looks, it feels very real, and I like how it has the confidence to be kind of slow and quiet. It's a slower movie for sure, but I like that the movie has that confidence and just trusts in the story and lets it play out.
Oh yeah.
I think. What do you think of the reveal? The reveal when I found out that the girl was the feet, that blew my mind.
Yeah, I totally didn't expect that.
So cool.
That is very cool.
And it doesn't do it perfectly, but whatever the thing that the word Hannah is, it isn't, but it is reminiscent of the movie itself, is reminiscent of that, because it begins with the opening of her seeing her kid and ends with the opening of her seeing her kid.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, it's not you literally couldn't watch the movie in backwards and it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
But it's cool that they kind of created in that structure, which is
that is cool.
Just kind of artsy and cool, and a fascinating way to do it.
It does follow that theme of time being all the same.
Words
whatever,
that can be read forward, backwards, whatever. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, I thought that was a fun, interesting, kind of fascinating movie experience.
It's up there as far as my alien knowledge goes.
Right?
I really like
It's
it.
just different. So yeah, as always, thank you for joining us. Thank you for the request. Like I said before, if you guys want to put in your own reaction requests, obviously you can go ahead and check out our Patreon. It does support us, and like I said, we're pretty much down to watch anything as long as it's not too crazy, explicit, or anything like that. We want to keep it family friendly. But yeah, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for joining us. If you're on the Patreon, thank you for being a patron and supporting us. And yeah, we'll see you all in the next video.